That got wet. Look at there, waterlogged. All this rain. That sucks. Kind of give you a little rundown here on xmarkbackyard.com or slash whatever that is. I screwed that up.
Backyard life.
Yeah, backyard life. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll let these weak ones fall off first. You can tell that's a good one, just the way it's cracking. Good and healthy one there. Good kernel all the way through. Little old money maker. But don't be mistaken, it don't make a lot of money. That's the least desirable pecan we got on the orchard. But it tastes good. But they're round, and the pecan turns brown first, or quicker than some of the other varieties. Don't necessarily affect the taste, it's just the aesthetics of it. So that's what I'm told is why a lot of people don't like that money maker. But I've also heard a lot of people in Europe like take them because they got a really nice shape to them and paint them. I mean, they don't even eat them, so I don't care if you want to eat them or paint them. I'll sell them to you. We're out here today on the farm and just kind of reporting for Xmark Backyard Life, and it's obviously getting very close to the pecan harvesting season, and with that season being marked, it also lets us know that it's right in the middle of deer season. So rifle season is going to be in real soon here in Georgia. And when that happens, obviously my family gets very involved. My 5 kids, my wife, we all like to hunt, and so we do most of it here on our farm. So I'm getting some stands ready, getting some lifelines up, checking some ladder blinds, some ladder stands. A lot of cool things happen. We're on the brink of a couple really fun things, and that is pecan harvest season as well as hunting season and getting these kids out in the woods. Look at here, here's something else we're checking on. How about that? Food plots are really jumping now. We got them fertilized and put in, and that's jumping. That's all oats, and I think we got a little bit of radish out there and some turnips. Very few of that. And as I'm sitting here enjoying the growth of this food plot, look at all these darn pecan robbers, all these crows out here. So I need to get the crew up, and we need to come out here and get on these crows. I've been told that one crow, I don't know if this is an exaggeration or not, but I've heard that one crow a day can tote off 2 pounds of pecans. Hawk out there chasing stuff around, crows chasing him. Seeing the circle of life right now. And I'm hoping that we can get this food plot up good and have a big old mature buck come easing out in this food plot. I got a redneck blind perched underneath it, so a little bit of a north, a little bit of west wind. Look out. This is one of my favorite places on the whole farm. It's just beautiful back here. I call this Bull Run field. Bull Run was legendary, the first battle of the Civil War, and so it took such a battle to be able to come up with the funds and politically figure out a way to get this land bought. That this is one of the first pieces I got, so I call it Bull Run. First battle to owning a farm. Money and contracts. Yeah, that's coming up real good. That jumped a lot just in the day. We got a lot of rain. Make sure that corn in it. That right there is money. There's a bunch of white oaks in here. And this time of year, October, I got a ladder stand right there and we're gonna throw a ground blind up here, but this time of year, when these white oaks start falling, typically your first acorns, a lot of times these water oaks, or pin oaks some people call them, when they start falling, obviously deer start hitting them, but when these white oaks, they prefer this acorn. I don't know what it is, they just love the taste of it. Then you got red oaks, you got swamp oaks, you got all kind of different oaks, but overall, this is the bark of that white oak tree you're looking for. Sometimes people get a sweet gum tree confused with it, or even a hickory. But if you look, you'll have that leaf that's very specific to it, you know, where you see a tree like this. A lot of times the leaves identify a tree. You know, that's a sweet gum. You know, they don't offer a lot for the wildlife. You can, if you got a headache, you can break off a green sweet gum limb, and you can chew on it. And my papa taught me this: you can just chew on it, and what's in, I don't even know the technical part of it, but it'll help ease off a headache and do stuff like that. Or if you camp in a sweet gum tree, you can also brush your teeth with it, and they got a certain bit of antiseptic, if that's the word, that'll help freshen your breath and stuff like that. So every tree seems to have a little purpose, but a sweet gum ain't good for nothing but that. But that right there, if you're a deer hunter, white oak acorn tree. And in this same little area, there's a bunch of red oaks. And a red oak, a deer like, but it's got more of a husk. But look at that, that's a big old meaty chunk of mass that a deer can eat that tastes good to them. And these white oak, I think, you know, they call them white because if you look, there's one right yonder. Look at the white right above the ranger there. You can see that white bark tree. And we about to get a good rain, so what we're gonna do is come in here and put this ground blind up. The rain to wash everything away. These white oaks are falling. I've got some big and J up there, and just back north of me is a big food plot. I put in some oats, some clover and stuff like that. So this spot is going to be a hub, and by technicality, you know, if you look, there's a bottom right here, there's a little saddle right here, and it flattens off. So these deer, when they move through here, they usually come right up through here and feed up on this flat, and then they can go up to these food plots. But right now they're going to be in these acorn trees. So we're going to put up a blind. I already got a ladder blind, but the problem is if I got any bit of south or east wind, it blows right down in here where most of these deer are coming from, so I can't hunt it. So I got a good ladder blind set up over there for north or northwest wind. I'm gonna come down in here and try to get below these deer, maybe throw up a little ground blind, and maybe it will give us a little edge for a south wind. But it's tough. You can trick a lot of things on a deer, but it's hard to trick their nose. But this is a good spot. And this is, no matter, even though we're in the south, and I think these, you know, trees change. I mean, you get in the Midwest, they got white oaks and stuff, but you get in South Georgia or different places in North America, the acorn trees, it'll be an oak tree, it'll be a different mass producing tree, but they change as far as their desirable type of acorn to eat. But for Georgia and Central Georgia and really all across North America where white oaks are found, if you find white oak acorn trees dropping, you will find deer sign. And if you're hunting public ground or anything like that, if you can find a white oak acorn tree, that is a good sign that you're in an area where deer are going to come to. Especially if you can find a cluster. And I've even found if you can find an old home site that's got them big old white oak trees, there's something about them trees. I don't know if there's leftover fertilizer in the ground or whether it was around old chicken coop or you know, or cattle yard. It just seems like deer love those trees better than they do just random ones out in the wild. Or if you can also in a clear cut find a few big white oak trees that's been left out in an old pine thicket that's been cut over, a great spot to find action when it comes to hunting deer. But this rain's moving in, so we're gonna put this ground blind up. Obviously right now is go time for hunting. It's the best time of year to hunt. And I was going to show you something I adapted to because I've got 5 kids. I grew up hunting 90% of the time. I hunted out of tree stands. If you grow up in the South, really all across North America, tree stands are very popular. And I hunted out of lock-ons, which at times our means of getting up in the tree were pretty sketchy. You was crawling up limbs. You was literally, you know, from screw-in steps to different ways to get up there. I still think it's a very effective way to hunt. But because I have 5 kids and a wife who isn't a tree surgeon, who really loves to hunt, and obviously if you whitetail hunt and you hunt from a tree stand, you need to be anywhere from 20 to 30 foot tall. But I have now switched almost all my lock-ons off for ladder blinds similar to this one. And what I like about these is I always make sure I put the lifelines on them. So with these, I can take a safety strap, and especially with kids that hunt with me, you can get a little bitty safety strap like this. And all they have to do when you get in, it's easy to climb these ladders, but then as they're going up the tree, this slides up with them. If they were to slip on a rung, even if you're an adult, you fall off and it catches you. So safety is really important when you're hunting with the people you love the most. And even for us old hard-headed men and women who hunt. We get in a hurry, we get a little bit of time to hunt, we're running to a stand, we're running up it. But man, if something were to happen to you and fall out of a tree or slip on a screw and step, or maybe you slip on a limb, man, it wouldn't be good. So what I've done for my guests and my family, where I could afford, I made sure I switched out all my premium setups in ladder blinds, and that way I can have a kid, I can have a woman, I can have a rookie, man, woman, and child can climb this with ease. You know, if you got a kid, you can go up behind him, hook him in. These come with 2 bells, so you can hook yourself in as well as your kid. Get them good fast. You can climb up, and they are never in a situation, even if they were to slip and fall, that they're going to be safe. So that's just something I've done. As you get older, you get a little wiser, and you get a little bit more conservative in the approach, especially when you're hunting with your loved one. So that's a safe measure to take when you're hunting with a kid. These little vests don't cost much. This one right here, I can put this one on my 5-year-old boy, and he learns a little bit of physicality of climbing a ladder, but he can do it safely, and he can get up there and he can hunt with Daddy. So in our setups, you can see off to the side, we got a camera stand, a lock so we can video. So with that, we're gonna stay safe and get out of here, because I think before the year's out, you're gonna see a good hunt and a good buck get shot in this area. This is a hot spot, but just want to show you my setup on this spot. Kind of going through our deer inventory. I've been getting a bunch of trail cam pictures, even starting back in late July and August, and so really I have not hunted a lot, but it's not because I hadn't wanted to. We've had really rainy weather. It's been above average warm, and the wind that I've set up on these capsule feeders in different places to hunt has not been great. So I've just kind of stayed out. I've got, you know, the Bushnell trail cameras monitoring the situation. And so as soon as we get a good wind, we get a good weather pattern, and these deer start showing up more in daylight, we'll be able to move in on them. So it's kind of fun, even in this ground that I know a lot, that I've walked it and actually put boots on the ground. This gives me an opportunity to sit back and see the deer that's coming to these areas. I can get a good inventory of some of these hit lists of deer that I want to go after and hunt and put my kids and my family on. But I don't have to get aggressive, and I'll know when to get aggressive when I get the right wind. I can look at that on base map and kind of get an idea in the next 48 hours when it'd be a good time to hunt, based on the weather, based on the wind, and based on what's showing up. So we're sitting here. Our game plan, we have the war strategy. We just have not fought the battle. We're ready to go though. The trumpet's about to sound though. We're about to go after them.